Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As you probably know, there was a fire that started at the fire is just a euphemism, which is in reality a fire at Russian liquefied natural gas terminal, the biggest in the Baltic states, operated by the Russians. First, the articles that I read were saying, well, a fire started, we don't know yet whom. Then it was the Russians who came and said who did or what happened. And then we have everybody else saying these are the perpetrators. So we know what caused the fire, and it was an attack on it. This is the largest LNG terminal, Russian LNG terminal. And I think I can confidently claim that what's going on right now is the United States of America tries to destroy Russian competition in the energy sector around the globe, or Europe. Russia still distributes liquefied natural gas to Europe, if I remember correctly. That's where the Americans kicked out the competition, which is the cheap pipe natural gas sent by the Russians. So now they destroy this one through the Ukrainians. I think this is an economic terrorism conducted by certain people in order not to destroy, they say, to destroy Russia's war machine capability to fund the war. Yeah, that's part of it. I think the main thing is those guys could not compete with the Russians. Therefore, they destroy right now. Not only they destroy by sanctions, they destroy actively, like for instance, the sabotage of Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 pipelines is on the same page. They're going to destroy the Russians. They can't compete with the Russians in energy, production and delivery and the price. Therefore, they're going to destroy them, or at least try to destroy them, in order to eliminate the competition, not only on the documents, but physically. This is what I think is right now. It's a economic terrorism, and these guys try to take over this. Because they can't take over Russia, they try to minimize Russia's capability to compete with these guys. Let me show you these articles. I have about 5 maps to show you where this explosion occurred. It was a missile or a drone. But let's start with the first article coming from the Russians. That's why, this is another reason why I tend to trust the Russian media more than these guys here. Because when the Russians are hitting an objective in Ukraine or something related to the Russians' successes somewhere, these guys are not mentioning it. Or if they're mentioning it, are lying about it. Say, oh, it was nothing, it was just civilians, it was just this and that. But they do not report their losses. Say, yeah, man, it was a success from the enemies. Rarely they do so. And the Russians say that. Yes, it was an attack from the other guys. I saw this kind of articles many times so far when the Russians admitted, sometimes they don't, admitted that, hey, it was those guys hit this, those guys hit this. The Ukrainians, like, they never get hit. It's almost always is just civilian infrastructure. It's like never they get hit. The military, never. But somehow, always the other way works. Remember, the Russians also confirmed when their ships were attacked and destroyed and sunk in Sevastopol. And not only, they reported on it. First they said, yeah, but then they say it. These guys, like, they never say it, seems to me. Not never. I'm exaggerating, but you understand what I'm talking about. So let's start with the first article, which is that. That's the wrong one. And this is the right one. The other one was from a previous video I made. So Russian gas operator names cause of terminal blaze. Russia Today, 21st of January 2024. So they're going to name it. What caused that? Not a fire. Sometimes they say that just broke out. But you build legitimacy and trustworthiness. How do you call it? You become trustworthy. When you can confirm certain things. They can say that it was not that. It was an accident. These guys are going to say, no, it was a missiles. The other guys are going to say, no, it was an accident. Who are you going to believe? None. But let's go back here. It said the Novatek facility on the Baltic coast was set on fire on Sunday. Set on fire. A large fire at a terminal on the Baltic Sea operated by Russian natural gas producer Novatek was caused by an external impact. Right? External impact, external influences. There were no injuries, no threat of human life or health. Currently, the fire has been extinguished. All right, so let's see. They don't tell us anything else about that, but it's an external. Someone else did something. So let's go to this one. This is RBC Ukraine. Attack on Russian Ust-Luz sea terminal organized by Security Service of Ukraine. You got it? And this is the terminal. And I have more pictures. That's a fantastic achievement. Look at that. Look at that. So don't imagine that it was blown up, the whole thing. You see what they got over there? Right? It's unbelievable. It's not just one thing. It's just, well, look at this, this, this. And I have more maps. I have more maps that I'm going to show you with the location and how it was constructed. I'm pretty sure there are others doing this, but this is the largest. Okay, so it says here, an explosion as a result a fire at a sea terminal in the town of Ust-Luga in the Leningrad region of the Russian Federation are reported to be a special operation of the Security Service of Ukraine. In the name of whom? Defending them. No, it's, I think, for the masters. According to get them out of business so they can compete and sell you LNG 5 times or 4 times the price. They got the cheap pipe natural gas and they brought the, hey, we're going to help you. We blew up that, we blew up that. Hey, we're going to help you. I'm just kidding. They want to help you with LNG, but you're going to pay 3 to 4 times more. And the Russians said, oh, no problem. We're going to come with our LNG. Oh, Jesus Christ. These guys are still competing and pushing us out. Oh, how about, hey, go. According to their information, the Security Service of Ukraine utilized drones, plural, for precise targeting. The strikes were accurate, resulting in a massive fire that continues to burn. The Russians were compelled to evacuate their personnel. Got that? Next one. The new voice of Ukraine. Ukraine SBU executes precision strike on Russian fuel terminal. So this is the fire over there. Remember the picture over there of the terminal compared with that fire. Remember this, all right, and remember that. But it was an overnight. It was a successful strike, an overnight attack on an oil terminal in Ust-Luga, Leningrad Oblast, Russia. Was a special operation carried out by Ukrainian SBU security service. Inside sources revealed. They say, because I know it was a LNG. Now this is an oil terminal, but doesn't really matter. It's the same thing here. It's Luga. It's the oil terminal, but it has LNG. I know I read that somewhere. But why? Because I make the connection with these guys pushing them out. This is where that is, the Ust-Luga. I know you don't really see, maybe you don't know geography. I don't even know. I know it's by St. Petersburg, which is right here. This is the Baltic states. And this is the Gulf of Finland. So Gulf of Finland, Baltic states somewhere in the west, and here is the St. Petersburg. Next one. There it is. So this is Europe right here, and this is where it occurred, by Finland. This is the Gulf of Finland. This is St. Petersburg. If you go like this, you're gonna go to Sweden. Right here you got, so you know exactly where it's at right now. Let's make it bigger. I mean, you already saw it. The Nordic states, countries, and here it is. St. Petersburg is right there, and this is this terminal. I mean, this is not where the terminal is. The terminal is somewhere here. So this right here, and this is where the river, not that one. This river goes here. I think this is the way it's at. Where's that cove? So let's move on with, this is Ust-Luga, which is 1 and then 2 and then right here. And they say 1 and 2, and this is right here. So this is where the river goes, blah, 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 blah. But this is what? This is the same. Estonia, that's Estonia over here. That's Estonia over here. So here it is, located in that little cove. Let's move on. This is another picture of the, probably these are the oil, storage facilities. And then we go to the next one, LNG terminal. This is LNG terminal. That's the way it looks. This thing right here. So this thing right here is probably, where are you? This right here. This is the river that flows into the sea right here. So the terminal is somewhere here, I guess. Not I guess, but that's where it's at. Right here, this was the project. It's not a picture. It's just how it was the project initially designed. And then it ended up being, let's see where that is. Ended up being like this. And this. And I said LNG terminal. That's how I put a name. It doesn't say here. This is the project. I know that one. Baltic, all right there. Baltic LNG project, Ust-Luga, Leningrad Oblast. So yeah, that's where it was. That's how it was envisioned. And that's how it ended up being in Luga Bay. The fact is this, or the evidence and the reality is the Ukrainians were capable of hitting something over there with a drone, and that is a morale boost. Which, remember, if they can hit it with a drone, maybe they're going to try with something bigger. They try to incapacitate the Russians' ability to compete. That's what it's my latest conclusion. It's not about Ukraine and being by Ukraine, just a means to an end. The end is taking over the Russians' resources, be it wheat, be it oil, gas, people, all of the above. Wood, obviously, in the Siberian, subcontinent, let's put it this way, in Siberia and so on. It's just, that's what I think it is. This is my latest conclusion of what really is going on with Ukraine. Not only with, but, you know, in order to get on that, to get your finger, your nail, your claw on Russia, you need first to destroy it economically if you can, so they can't support the war, as these guys claim. But in the meantime, why don't we just get them out of business so we can take over our connections and take over Europe fully, which we're going to benefit, right? No, they're going to benefit, and they use us and you guys. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.